Yo, what's good with it, YouTube? What's good with it? What's with it, man? I love y'all. Good to be back again. Also, always, I appreciate y'all love and y'all support forever. But in the meantime, in between time, I'm just going ahead and jump straight off into it off the diving board. Hello. Alright, so I'm going to just talk to y'all. Women, I want y'all to pay more attention to this. Young ladies, older women, because I ain't trying to ruffle no feathers, but I might strike a nerve. You know what I'm saying? I struck my own nerve when I wrote this stuff because I was a part of this, and I'm still working daily to be better. So the title of this is gonna be called "How to Recognize Obvious Signs of a Weak Man." Like women, you always want to know what type of man you're dealing with. You want to go straight to the point. You're talking about um, what are your interests and all that. You want to know who you're dealing with. So in that process of a relationship, you need to know certain signs of a man who needs more building. And when I say a weak man, I don't want to just go to labeling. That's labeling. That's not what we not finna do is label. So I want to break off. I'm finna change the subject right quick. I'm gonna come back to it, but we got to stop going against each other as people because just like I said, and I made that title for a purpose, signs of a weak man. That's what the world labels a nigga to be weak. But I'm gonna tell you something, niggas ain't weak. Niggas just ain't discovered their purpose. You know what I'm saying? So they can label you whatever, but there are different types of programs. You chose yours as a kid growing up. Somebody else chose theirs as a kid growing up, and then both of y'all program, and then y'all come together, and y'all don't understand the programs because they ain't compatible. Hello. So nigga, not weak. Stop going against each other. We are humans. We all we got. Just because a person hasn't found their purpose and know how to stand on business, that don't mean they a weak person or nothing. They just need some more guidance. Let's go, man. So obvious signs of a weak man. The first thing is weak man, weak women. I don't even care. If a person cannot sit alone for at least 5 simple minutes by themselves, that's a sign. That's a flag. That is a whole flag. That's my baby Louise calling. I'm gonna call you right back, baby. If you can't sit alone, like what are you running from? You running from the truth? A lot of men in this generation can't sit alone in a room without um constant need of dopamine hits. And when I say dopamine hits, I mean distractions, Distractions like drugs and alcohol, scrolling, noise, stimulation, some type of distraction. And you know why that is? It is because silence reveals truth, and truth demands change. When you sit in silence, you're gonna have to face that mirror. And a lot of y'all get scared. I used to get scared too. You face that mirror, and then you're gonna find out the whole truth. Once you get away from that, and you know what? Back to the things with the tornadoes. That's why it's a good thing that Grandma made us turn everything off so we can take a break from all that doggone programming. Because when you program, you forget who you really are. We programming you. You can come to me with your own operating system, which is your life, and then you can trust me to program you. And then I can set boundaries and belief into your operating system and override it. If you ain't got no firewalls on some tech stuff, hello, let go. Constant dopamine, y'all. Constant dopamine hits, running from the noise. Running from the truth to get to the noise. Constant dopamine hits, it paralyzes any man, any person from ever elevating out of their comfort zone. And we all need to elevate. The only time we elevate is on the elevator, and it's time to stop. Hello, come here. If a person has no goals in their life, like instead of asking people, what's your favorite team? What's your favorite restaurant? Man, what's your goals, my nigga? What do you plan to be in the next 5 years? These are the conversations that need to be had, and y'all wonder why y'all relationship is like Titanic type stuff, just in the waves, just wandering, going back and forth. Y'all ain't asking no heart to heart real questions that need to be talked about. What's the nigga goals? And stop right now and ask who you with. What are their goals? And if they don't have anything to say to stimulate your mind as if y'all was having an orgasm, you need to stop and y'all need to have a conversation. Hello, let's go, fool. Let's go, man. If you ain't planning, shit, obviously you planning to fail. And I do know that, me being included back in the day, many guys, many of us, we avoid goals, setting goals, because we feel like if we never try, then we can't fail. We ain't gotta take a L. Hello, capital L. Come here. But in reality, that mindset guarantees automatic failure. Slowly but surely. Come here. But in the meantime, in between time, we need to. All right, well, check this out. We need to, I would say, let's stop focusing on planning so much and then start focusing on backup plans for the plans that we already have. Because you got all these plans and you ain't got no backup plan. It's a difference. Before you move on to plan B, have a backup plan for plan A, and a backup plan A. That's how you gotta move. That's how you gotta rock. You gotta analyze and move precisely and precisely. I was talking about precisely. I don't know, you think about some pizza and go. All right. Instead of trying to get from point A to point B, plan A. I plan from A to Z. I have so many backup plans you wouldn't even know what hit you. Your head will spin around like the poltergeist. You think you got me, and then I got a backup plan, and then you take that down because you smart. But then I got FOMO type stuff, You can't win. Hello. You gotta have a goal before you go on the journey or the road to success. Otherwise, you have no roadmap, which means you end up handling somebody else's goals. You don't know where you're going. You're on a road with no roadmap. Like, you just gonna end up everywhere. Goals require discipline. A man that fears discipline will not have no goals because he's afraid to fail. You feel me? He ain't disciplined enough to understand that failure is the key to understanding what are you doing wrong, and success is the key to understanding what are you doing right. I want to know what I'm doing wrong. If I'm doing something right, I don't need to understand it no more. I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? I already got it. I need to know what I need to do to be better than I was yesterday type. All right. Let's see. And another one, you yes man. Another way to tell, I'm still labeling, a weak man. Nigga scared to say no. Like, why is you saying yes all the time? You say yes to everybody but yourself, pimping. You tweaking, you tripping with no map, because I would say that you trying to say yes to everybody else and saying no to yourself because you don't care about approval from yourself. You care about winning external approval from people who probably don't even care about you anyways. Hello. Wasting time. End up being yes men to get approval from people who don't even like you. Men of me included, as growing up, like, many of us had low self-esteem and we hadn't discovered our purpose, so we say yes to lag on to other people's purposes and try to boost them up and all that. But This is the age of self. It's time to pay attention to your own doggone purpose. For real, for real. Another thing, y'all. A weak-minded man and a weak man, he fears discipline with a passion, as I said. You know, type of people that they want the crown, but they don't want to hold a cross on their back. Hello. They want the trophy at the end of the finish line, but they don't want to run a race with you. And you know why? Because an undisciplined man serves his mood, his emotions. Emotions, like I said, energy in motion. A disciplined man serves his passion and his mission. So, what is discipline in real life, y'all? I'll tell you what it look like. What it look like? Let me tell you what it look like. What it look like? All right, I got. It looks like waking up before the sun when nobody is watching. Discipline is training when your muscles aching. Hello. Discipline is showing up when your heart is broken. Keep it going. Discipline is choosing the hard path over and over again. And last but not least, discipline is saying no to temptation when no one is there to blame you. Every time you level up, your old life is going to always try to call you back. So you know what? Don't answer. And speaking of leveling up, I always remember when you leveling up, it's not you versus the world. Forget them. It's you versus you. Hello. I love y'all. And if y'all got some more things, man, say something in the comments. This about engagement. And with all the word of AI, I want us to be a community of humans, you know, so speak your mind. Whether it's negative or positive. I put this video out and I don't care who makes what kind of comment. I'm not gonna I ain't gonna do none of that because I put it out and I put it out there for the world to see. So you are entitled to whatever opinion you have to make. And I love each and every last one of y'all. I'll be back with another one soon, I promise. Hello. Love y'all, man.